face off. We're gonna talk your face off. We're gonna talk your face off. Talk your face off. To talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off.
Hey, what is going on, you guys? Hopefully things are working. I don't have Pablo here to do a quick test with me before going live, but it looks like all the meters and things are jumping that need to be jumping. So we're gonna go on and press on and hope that things are working all right. We're both running behind today. He's actually driving and gonna show up here midstream, and then we're gonna just roll with it. Whatever happens, hopefully his audio and stuff will work out when he jumps in too. But what's going on, Hood Wiz, Super One-Handed, Racing Case 87, Busted Nux, Don Rooster, Reckless Remote Control. Everybody, welcome. We're going to be talking about quite a few different things. I didn't actually make show notes. I just have my graphic to go off of because there's quite a few things that are kind of popping right now to talk about. Lots of new RCs. It's been crazy how many new RCs we're getting to have to think about. Now, again, the thing I've been trying to beat home for the past year-ish is just because they release them doesn't mean you've got to go and buy them. And that's the same for me. I'm trying to be a lot more particular about what I choose to run and what, I'm going to spend money on. So there's one, though, I'll tell you, that's really calling my name. And it shouldn't be, because they didn't change the one thing about it that I would want changed, but it's just so good. I don't know if you guys can guess what new release that is, but I'm curious if you'd know. I've said before, I can't do it, but I think I want to. I think the kids are punking me right now. Hold on one second. I think they turned off the lights on me upstairs. Or maybe you did it trying to shut your lights off. My boys are just heading up right now. So we're going to talk about beach fun with Pablo, and I think that ties into his love-hate relationship with the UDR. We talk a little bit about the new Axial. There's the one that I got that I showed in the Axial Fest video, which we could talk about that too. I forgot that's something I've been working on. Been just hammering through videos, you guys. So many from June to get to. I've got Horizon RC Fest still to get to. I've got the Monster Jam World Finals to get to. Those are like front of mind. Must get them done very, very soon. So again, the big issue with the footage from the Horizon RC Fest was I was so busy. Like, we were running that comp and we were trying to get things prepped, and so much of the trailer kind of had to be rebuilt after we got there because of driving for 5-6 hours with it. And, it kind of shook it a little bit, and he had some repairs to do. We were trying to get stuff set. I was trying to get things set up for, camp and all different kinds of stuff just going on. So I wasn't like focusing a whole lot on creating video. And when I was, it was just kind of like grab the camera and go. And so I did something I would almost never do. And I put the microphone into auto because it can tend to clip. That particular microphone is like really sensitive for interviews and stuff, and it can clip when you're not even realizing it. Problem is, in auto, it was clipping the whole time. Something with it, and I've done a test with it before when I had to do auto because the volumes were changing between things too much for me to ride the volume knob all the time, and I had to do it, and it was great. And it did a great job. But this one, just for whatever reason, and I checked it before Badlands because I saw the footage, of course, and I just kind of unplugged the cable, plugged it back in. I don't know if there's dirty, but there was a lot of dust. I will say that. It was so dusty. So that is a lot harder to work with. There's so much talking stuff that would be so much fun, but I don't know if people can handle the grading of it's just like on edge, the audio the whole time. And it drives me personally crazy to listen to. And I think it'll drive other people crazy. I might add music and see if it masks it enough. And I cut around. If people aren't talking loud, it's okay. But man, so much of the long jump stuff, all that's kind of just blown out as far as audio goes. So I'm cutting around stuff, just using B-roll, and I might just have to narrate the whole thing, which just makes it a lot harder for me to put together. So, and I didn't shoot it for that. I shot it for more kind of be there with us and lots of people talking to camera and just joking. And yeah, so it's a bummer. But Badlands, we fixed all that. It was great. Fixed it also for the Monster Jam World Finals. And that I was rocking everything. I had headphones on when I was recording audio, anything, just to make sure I got it nailed. And that's the way I should be doing it, but I'm not there as a full-time video guy for that. So I'm not, just keeping headphones, because then you can't set the camera down without, it's just a lot more work. So yeah. I did do it though, however, for the Monster Jam World Finals, so I could make sure I had good stuff. And we weren't driving that much when we weren't, getting ready. So, but yeah, reckless remote control. We're trying to go for that. We're trying to go for the feel of like bringing people with us, and we did the same thing for Badlands. But we had the Andersons there, and they were just hemming it up with the camera, and taking the camera and going and interviewing people too. And it's crazy. It's fun stuff. So I need to figure out how I can try to salvage the best parts and kind of get rid of the other parts. So yeah, Pablo will be here. He's on the road. He's coming back from his family went to the beach about 3 hours from their place for I think yesterday and today. They had a job to do out there, and then I think they stayed, is I think how that worked. He'll be able to explain it. But for me, talking, I'm just trying to go through the set list. There's something I could talk about that we did on top of the edits that we're doing. So I'm doing those edits, and the way that it has to work with the edits is I also have to be creating content that I can use, right? So those are bigger, longer videos, and I'm not going to finish them in a day and have them up. And so the way that YouTube algorithms and all that junk work, you got to keep feeding the beast. And so I'm trying to shoot content that I can use to fill. So we just did one actually about this. You may have seen it on Instagram and all that with the run footage of it. But this is really about what's inside of here, which are, you can see there's a nice little air gap on these. You can kind of get a nice little press down on this. It's soft on the top, but then it's firm, a little bit of foam there. And these are Crawler Innovations Deuces Wild. And we run these in our 1/10 scales like that. And maybe it'll show here where you can see it dip in. Yeah, you can kind of see. It squish in. But we run these for our 1/10 scale, and a lot of the guys absolutely love it. And so they made them for these. We're testing them. We originally, and they're still in here, we put them in these on a live stream. And I was having a lot of issues with this truck afterwards. And I thought it was the motor. We went to the high-speed motor. Turns out it wasn't. Turns out something with these wheels in general they're hitting. I don't know if it's the plastic or the screws or whatever on the back of them, but they were causing it to, like, one wheel wouldn't spin. It would lock up and all that. But I put these ones on and everything spins freely and smoothly. I have no idea what changed. It's not the foams making it do it, but yeah, super weird. It was just these. This truck is now running awesome. I haven't really done a show off for it after we did that live stream where I was working on it, because it was just, I had to try and shake out and figure out what was wrong with it. And I finally took all the wheels and tires off and drove it, and it drove great. Like, I could just see nothing was locking up or binding in the axles, which is what I thought the portals or something were messed up. So yes, we're going to have a video coming on this. It didn't have the stickers on. I just put those on. These are from JB Scale Graphics. You can get them to put on, and his stickers are licensed by Bigfoot. So you are okay to go and sticker up your Bigfoot. That comes with a bunch of other little options on it as well, and some of his stickers. But yeah, super cool. Looks really good on here. And this is the Black Market RC chassis. And that's what I was building on live stream. It still works with the snaps to be able to put this on here. Fantastic. Still have no idea what was going on with the wheels, the stock wheels, that was causing so much binding. This thing drives like mad with that speed motor and this setup right here. Absolutely killer. perfect speed, in my opinion, for these trucks. Like you could go faster, but like I was really only hitting full throttle when I was just opening up on long straightaways. If I was in a house or in a small little race area inside of a shop, you probably wouldn't even be hitting full very often because it's pretty quick, especially for small spaces and being able to turn. So yeah. The Shop Mini RC, what is going on? Says Axial Fest Badlands was pretty different from Axial West was different than Badlands. In what ways? I'm curious. Um, Jem's hobbies. What's going on? He was just up here in Michigan. I could not get out because of how busy I've been. And with my knee, I can't actually walk on sand. I didn't tell him that part of it. Yeah, it's very tricky right now. It adds a whole lot of extra strain to your knees. And with whatever I did to my knee, I tried to get out of our boat and stand in the sand in the water, thinking it would, be nice. And it was not. Not at all. First Matt, now Pablo. You're becoming the fill-in king. There we go. Lugs might rub on the inner knuckles. That's what I'm wondering. But they're stock tire. Maybe I didn't screw them in all the way on a couple of them. Maybe. Anyway, they're too narrow in my opinion anyway to look right. These things look right in my opinion. I guess these do look old school, right? They look all right for old school, but yeah. Paul Fletcher, my power's on. Yeah. Does he have those in 1/10 scale too? I don't know if he does right now. They've been hard to get. They sell out when they go up. So I don't know if he has them or not. You'd have to look. He said it seemed like a lot more people in the West, but it's also way further from civilization. So don't forget water. Oh no. Less rock crawling and more trailing. Got it. Very cool. Still want to get out there one day. That's, my goal is to make it out there. All right. So hitting some of these things, nobody, I don't think, guessed what I was talking about earlier about the one that I really want, but like I normally would be completely against. Let me get it up here. It came out after we had our live last week, and I wasn't here anyway. We were at the NF concert, which was probably one of the best concerts I've been to in a long, long time. I mean, other than going and seeing like a favorite band or something, what a show. Very, very fun. And the crowd was insane. He's got quite a following of people that just absolutely love his music. Let's go to the Horizon site. This will be good because this will bring up something else to talk about as we get here. If you guys know who NF is, say NF in the chat. All right, we're going to go to a Chrome window. This one. Boom. All right, so we're on the site. The Slash truck body. That's also one that I think is cool that I would want, but probably would never get. Yes. That's not the one, but super good guess. Yeah, see, servo axle mount on my Ascend F450. Rear steer installed and working great. Awesome. Should work really good on the 452 for the steering. I never thought about that. I never pitched it for that. I probably should because it would work for that too. It enhances the steering like crazy, and you're probably less likely to break it. I've only had 3 or 4 people contact me about breaking it. One was in the winter. One, you could tell that there was something wrong with the print. And then I also, after the first one went anyway, I just kind of made everything a lot beefier. And yeah, I didn't want to have that happening. So we just thickened everything, and it's been awesome. And we actually now drill it through from the front. A lot of things that just rework the design there first bit in. I never broke mine, and but I don't bash as hard as some people with their trucks. I try to drive it a little more scale, and so it wasn't tested fully for if it were to hit like something front on, because that thing sits right up front, and regardless, as 3D printed is going to go. But yeah, needs a 4-link mount on top. Oh yeah, probably does for those. That's not a bad idea. I'll have to look into that as well. All right, so we're here on the site. There's a red warning up here, important message about our order status, shipping delays, customer service. If you guys haven't seen the social medias in a bit, that's been a thing. They've been dealing with putting a whole new back end system on all their stuff, and there's been growing pains with that. And that happens, man. I know it does. I've been a part of it with like a really big nonprofit, and when it all goes south, like you're not getting in the donations you need to be getting in, and so many things. Yeah. Phew. So I know what they're dealing with. Customers, when it's nonprofit, a little bit different. Like they're wanting to give you money to. It's a little. It's not as bad on the customer side as it is on the corporate side of it, where this is bad for both. But they're trying to just be upfront and honest about it, and they're just saying that there's a problem, and so they're not hiding from it, and for the most part they're getting it all sorted. But here's some of the stuff I wanted to talk about. So this is the new Basecamp SCX-10 I have the kit version that came out that they had, which also includes the dig feature. That one does not. They're still doing the Christmas in July sale here. Awesome sale on this. This is one that I have been looking at. It's so tempting at the price. I'm not even putting up links here for anything, but so I'm not like affiliate linking. I'm just saying some of the stuff's really cool. The one that I'm really interested in is this guy right here. $100 off of that. $579 is $479 for. That's a pretty good deal. So yeah, I've been eyeballing it. And I normally would be a green guy, but I think I like the red and black on this one. So hard to say. Anyway, but that's not what I was actually interested in. It was this right here. And I'll talk about why they're both great looking. Depends on what you want it to look like. I think this one's going to get the most hits on it just because of the look of the front end. Maybe you really like the new Ford Raptor-ish looking front end Ford, but this old school is insane. Old Ford F-100. So yeah. Now, what is it that I'm talking about that is questionable to me? I think that everything about it, the way that it drives, looks absolutely amazing, and I love it. Even the rolling in the corners doesn't bother me, because when I watched RC Driver drive it, he was driving in sand and loose stuff, which is where I'd be driving it anyway, and it didn't roll over. It would just break free in the rear end and sling dirt. People that are trying to drive it on concrete or in grass, it's going to traction roll like crazy. It's just going to happen. It's not where it's meant to be driven, and you can tell from the pictures. So that's going to happen. My biggest issue is how much you have to take apart, and they've made it better, but how much you have to take apart to get in. Like if I just bought it and I'm like, you know what, straight out the gate, I want to change the servo, remove all the body panels, remove screws, whatever, to pull the cage off. Now you don't have to do the rear end of the cage anymore, which is great. But as somebody who doesn't have a whole lot of time to work on them, that becomes a bit of a beast, especially when you have as big a fleet as I have to try to maintain right now. It's just cumbersome. That and the bottom loading battery trays. I'm not a fan on any of the vehicles from Traxxas. I didn't like the original Revo side pack things. I didn't like. It's a big deal. It's like a big sticking point for me for some reason. Battery trays. You can watch how I got so ticked about the Haas and the Max, and how they wouldn't like take standard size batteries. like the standard 4S ones. They wanted, they came out with their new longer pack and all this. Like that for some reason irked me. And but yeah, so these like bottom loading, and then you have to use their battery type because of the plugs and some of that stuff. Even though I use their batteries anyway, that's not a big deal for me. But it's so good looking that I just want this truck so bad. And I don't think 529 is a bad price point coming in with it either. So yeah. Racing Case says that the Heat Wave one is sick. Yes. Crow Below Custom, just about over my original Baja Ray. We'd love to get my hands on the 2.0. Yeah. Yeah, for 530, I'm going with this over the new Slash Raptor all day long. I would agree with that. I would totally agree with that. But I think one of the things to talk about with all of it is anyway, so I'm kind of talking about a few of my little gripes with this. They're small, right? Pablo's popping in. They're small gripes. You ready, buddy?
Yeah.
I can hear you good.
All right.
I'm talking about the Baja Ray and how it was on my list of things that I would never get. Like I would just never, even the Super, like because of the slot, the bottom loading batteries and certain things like that I just find to be annoying when I'm trying to just get out and do this. Like that's why I bought I've looked at the Baja Ray. I've looked at the Super Baja Ray. I've looked at the UDR, and I bought a Mojave. Body clips, access to everything, strap my batteries in, good to go. Like, not a scale, but for what I was trying to do with it and just rip stuff, just tons of fun, quick and easy. Like, even that, I can get to that center diff with like 4 screws, and I still haven't fixed it after I had the issue with it.
I don't know where you've been in this conversation already. So sorry for being late, guys. I literally
like a 7th grade girl. Go ahead.
literally just walked in the front door. I grabbed the laptop, came downstairs and plugged it in. And I was like,
that's like 6 more things than just walking in the front door that you just listed right away. But we'll let you live in fairy tale world there.
Oh, dude, I'm like I took a leak, so I came in first, took a leak.
Okay,
because
that's a whole nother door, even though. So like
2 doors, yeah.
Okay.
So went in there, came out. I was like, I needed something to eat. I haven't eaten since 8 o'clock this morning. Then I was like, okay, I should eat something. I looked in the fridge real quick. I was like, nope, close the fridge.
Did you grab a drink on your way down, though?
Of course I did. Of course I did. So,
there you go.
Yeah. but no. So this morning I went out and we were at the beach. So I just drove 3.5 hours and got out of the car to grace your ears.
There we go. Speaking of gracing ears, we're going to talk about your podcast here soon.
Right on.
I listened to all, but I think the last 15 minutes you were just giving a shout out to Spec RC, which was in the end.
That might have been
just toward the end.
Yep. So, but so this morning we went out. Me and Dalton went out, and I was like, "Let's go play." The bummer thing is, so we got there Sunday night. And it was gorgeous, sun setting, all that kind of stuff. We took out the LMT, and we both went out. We're like, whoa, and then all of a sudden I see his wheels start doing this in the back, and I was like, okay, I'll just tighten it up. And I go to tighten it up, and I was like, wait a minute, and I didn't take it off because it was all sandy, but it looked like his whole bearing was just gone, like in the back corner. I was like, fantastic.
You do sand it up with those. You hit some pretty sandy stuff.
We do all kinds of stuff, yeah. So I was like, okay. I was like, all right, well, then what? I hand mine off to him, and I'm like, don't break it yet, right? Like we have the weekend to go, so don't break it yet. So he drives around for a little bit. It was fun. But then this morning, I was like, here, you can drive my LMT. I was going to go out with the camera and take video, and I get out there, and I go click, go to turn it on, go to start framing up, and then all of a sudden I look at the screen that says no SD card. And I was like, no.
Oh, that's what you meant?
Yeah, man. So I didn't have
Well, did you go back to the hotel after that or no?
No, I just got everything on my phone. So I was like, I didn't want to
Yeah,
drive
but did
through.
you like leave the SD card there permanently? That's
Oh
what I
no.
was thinking. It's
No,
like
no,
you
no,
were
no.
on the road and you left the SD card there, and
Oh.
everything you filmed was on it still. In
No,
my
no,
mind,
no.
that's what your text message said. You're like, I left
Oh,
the SD card at the hotel, and I'm thinking, like,
that
shoot,
sucks.
like
Yeah.
that sucks. Like everything you
Yeah.
shot is on it, and it's at the hotel.
No, 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 no. But
Story's way cooler this way. Never mind.
yeah. No, so I was like, that sucks, right? And so I
Shedding
just
tears for you earlier, man.
I just shot everything with the iPhone. But
Yeah.
so he went out and we were running the new body that I put on my LMT, which is a Sendero body. It actually looked pretty good. I was like, hey, I like this body. And then what did he do? Because I just found the body mounts. They weren't the LMT body mounts. There were some other ones I found in my tray. He shoots up and goes off the back bed of the truck and shears the body mounts off. I was like, cool. So he's
They were
like,
just like plastic ones, hard plastic. They weren't rubbery.
well, one of
You said they're not stock ones. The stock ones are pretty flexible.
Yeah, no, these ones were, I don't know what they
Brittle
were from.
They must have been Tamiya.
Yeah, it's probably
like 1980s. From the
yeah.
kit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think they were Gen 8 ones actually out of the kit. But anyways, it just sheared it right off. And I was like, cool story, bro. Like, awesome.
Yeah.
So he just kind of burnt it down and that was fun. And then, so getting on your trophy truck stuff.
Yes.
I have both the older, not the old, but the Baja Ray V2 and the UDR.
This is the Baja Ray 2.0.
Right. But
that's the V2 of the version 1 of the 1.0 V2.
There's the 1.0 V2 and then there's the 2.
That wasn't confusing way to do things.
No, I know, right? So the Baja Ray V2 is the Rhino, the Black Rhino, and the King Shock one.
Yeah, I looked at those two back in the day.
Yeah.
And again, I couldn't do it. Like,
so
this one I can do. Like, when I get some money saved up, I can do this. Like, I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's what I'll tell you. So first off, I have been slamming my head against the wall with my UDR. It is a total love, hate, little bit of love, mostly hate relationship with my UDR. Every time I go out, I break something. And I don't drive bad. Like I really don't. Like like you may see some of the tumbles, but like that's the worst of the tumbles. And it is bizarre how I always break something. And it's always something simple, like sway bar mounts. Like today I went out and I ripped it and actually it was at home in the sand today. It was so awesome. Like I had so much fun. But the one break I did do that I was like wanting to throw it across the room and I was almost ready to sell it was I broke the front drive line. Like the drive line from the center diff to the front diff, you have to take everything apart to get to
that's a couple hour job right there,
bro. It sucked. And not only what sucked is that I couldn't diagnose it. I couldn't see that it was the drive line. I thought it was the front diff. And when I pulled everything apart, I was like, the diff looks fine. And then it was a drive line and it's a $5 part. And I bought the $60 part for so I'm just like, but what I'm getting at is the Baja Ray though. I probably drove that thing harder than the UDR. I've ran it in U4 racing, which is like really full throttle into rock gardens, like just going. I've ran it there. You've seen me send it off huge dunes. And I haven't broken anything. I mean, I did do a full cage on it, but I haven't broken any of the drivetrain. Now I'm going to have to knock on wood because next time I go out, I'm going to break something. But I haven't broken any of the drivetrain. I haven't. Oh, actually, I tell you what. I did break one thing, and they were super annoying. The rear shocks, the shock shaft would pull out of the eye of the ball mount, like totally. Like and so I changed the rear shocks out, and then it was gone. But you needed to change the rear shocks out anyway. But dude, it like the Baja Ray is solid. Like I haven't had any problems. The only reason why I don't drive it very often is because I don't have a really good wheel and tire combo. But I think I just found it before I left this
Good wheel
weekend.
tire combo
Yeah,
for
so
the UDR
for the Baja
or
Ray.
for the Baja Ray. Yeah,
That's why I don't drive it very often.
because
But
the wheel tires.
yeah, because like the tires that I put on it are too tall. I don't really like it. It doesn't look too scale. But I have the wheels for it. But the wheels that the tires that I found for it are the Pitbull. What are they called? They're not Berserkers, but it's a scale 2.2 tire that's a 5.2 inches tall, not like 5.5 or 5.7, and they are going to be perfect scale for that truck. The other thing is Spec RC put a teaser out with a Baja Ray, the new Baja Ray, and said,
you mentioned that to me.
yeah,
Oh my god.
and it said 3.0, 2.2, and I was like, yes, please. Like I've been waiting for those wheels for 2 years. Like, oh my goodness. As soon as I got to get my hands on a set because that'll make me rebuild my Baja Ray just for fun.
Gosh, I feel like Matt in his squeaky chair. This thing is so squeaky again for some reason. But yeah, my phone is blowing up. I was just checking what it was.
Yeah,
it's nothing. So that sounds like you're saying that the Baja Ray is not bad.
No,
it would please me quite well. Stock, I would leave stock tires on it because for what I'm going to use it for, I'm not going to race it. I'm just going to get video of it like dropping out, like the dropout stuff coming over, like whoops and stuff, and try and make it so the body looks like it's staying like suspension working, body staying smooth.
Yeah,
but yeah, there's lots of comments popping in here. We gotta catch a few.
Okay.
So some of them are about this anyway, because some of them are saying, "Be a man, buy it now," or "Put it in the cart." Be a man. No Control says, "I hate the way that the battery goes in."
Yeah. So that's the nice thing.
You don't get the right size ones. But again, I buy Spectrum batteries, so it's like, it won't be an issue, I don't think.
And for mine, it's not an issue because I made a cage for mine, so I'm not running the stock cage, so I can put my finger in the front and guide whatever I need to. And I actually take that back. Mine's even better because I put mine with the plug in first, and I plug it in the cab. I don't plug it in like they normally do. So, but it still has to be bottom fed, which kind of sucks, but it's not that bad. So that's the way I would do it.
So they're saying great price out of the box. I think so.
Yeah.
Sometimes just wait a few, the price will drop. I don't think so. Not on this low C set.
No, I don't think
these
so
ones
either.
don't tend to. I think they're going to sell them like crazy.
I could see it dropping a little bit, but like sale time, like Black Friday.
Yeah.
You know, but not, or what they'll do, if it's a hot commodity, they won't drop the price. They'll do here's a $25 gift card to Proline for the new Proline tires, or you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. So I don't think they're gonna mark it down at all.
Hey, Earl's in the house. What's up, man? Seems like several things before literally signing onto the stream. I think he's saying a good point on the Baja Ray. Yeah, I mean, for what I would use it for, again, I think I would be okay with it. I'm selling stuff right now because I have too much. In fact, I gotta show this one more time before I get rid of it.
Okay.
Pretty sure I literally just got paid.
Whoa!
This.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yep. It's gone. This is the old school Blizzard. This is like the sought after one by many. And I let it go for a pretty good price. It just has one single motor, so you don't have to do like mixing to go from their dual stick controller to a regular controller.
Is that a Sidewinder 3 too?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it has I'm leaving in the Spectrum SR315. So Those alone probably cover the cost of this thing. So he just asked me what it was, and then I said it was a Blizzard, and then he asked how did I mount the body, and then it all ended up coming down to like, would you ever think about parting with it? And I was like, dang it.
You're like, actually,
wasn't on my chopping block, but okay.
You're like, there is a new Super Baja Ray or a new Baja Ray 2.0.
Yeah. So that won't be in the background. I get so many questions about it, and I just feel bad for not running. I bought it right before leaving Virginia, and I was going to start racing with the Showtime. Like that was what I was gearing up for. They raced the tanks there.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm getting in on this. It looks like so much fun. Like retro's fun. This looks like retro on crack. Like you can't steer them. They're crashing into everything. Although one guy started building them his own, like custom, full on customs, and there was just no keeping up, like suspension in it and all that. And it was like, nah, whatever. I wouldn't be keeping up. But Hammer Ray is super tough. Low-C quality is really good, says Earl. I agree.
Yep. I agree with Paul Fletcher. Says Low-C is always a little pricey. Sales bring them down to tease us, but if you catch it at the right time, 100% worth it.
But the new Slash costs that much.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Raptor Slash costs that much money.
I haven't seen. So I have been under a rock since that came out. And I could care less about that thing. Like, not just because I'm like over that company, but just because I'm like, so I don't know. My buddy did one that looked just like that, but it was the 2-wheel drive version. And I was like, okay, like, like cool story. I don't know. But
yeah. And Earl's right on that. Notice Low-C only does big discounts on something going away.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, do they still sell that? What's the Fox? The 10 SC
DB
10,
DB10. Yeah, I think it's a DB10.
They did crazy sales on that, and that's still for sale.
Ooh, just got the heat
laser nut.
Metal
so some
RC.
of those have gone on some big sales in the past, and it's on a sale right now. But oh man, the laser nut. Gosh,
I thought you already had one.
Stop looking away. I do, but
it doesn't work.
Sometimes it's good to have two of things.
Oh, dude, you're telling me, yeah.
Because if you have your kid, like you want to race with somebody, you want to be matched,
dude.
Right?
People don't realize that. They don't see the plight of our situation. And my kid has been like that since day one, where I'm like, really, like, and you're trying not to spoil them. Like my kid's young, so he doesn't get it. Like he totally doesn't get it. But I'm like, but it's so much more fun for me if I have someone to race against, you know, like at any given moment. Like, let's go out, let's go race, let's go have fun.
Earl says he's disappointed in the Traxxas drop at the Low-C Baja Ray price for sure. Yeah. And I haven't looked that close at the track. I've been busy, and it dropped in a time when I was like, oh, that looks cool. Like, the body looks really amazing. I mean, they do so good with their bodies in general. Like
but it's something that we've seen before. So it's like, who cares? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. For a company
honestly, like, again, I wouldn't be racing and bashing around a regular Ford truck. I'd rather be a race truck. Like,
well, and for a company that does so much, like meaning so much revenue, like innovate a little bit more. Like was it Earl Moorhead that said it would, or no, Racing Case 87 said it would have been nice to see a scaled down UDR. And it's like, well, yeah, like do something like that. You know what I mean? Like something
or at least cage it a little bit, or make it look a little bit off-roadish. If you're gonna, like, if you're gonna bash it on the trails like they were doing, get some tires in the back end of it or something.
Yep.
But hey, RC Guy Garage in here too.
Yeah,
I was just watching his videos with the motorcycle and the buddy that had the X-Max that was so beefed up, and then like just chewed out one of those like pot metal spur gears, like just ate it up, like
oh no,
nothing.
Oh no.
Again, I watch all these on my TV, so it's proof I do watch, guys. I mean, but yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, But yeah, they've been going to the hobby shop, and one of them fixed up his truck for him while he was in there looking at stuff. And I think he picked up the motorcycle there and was looking at it. And then he got into the Spectrum batteries and stuff. So yeah.
No Control asked if either of us has driven the 14 MT. He said he was impressed. I want to.
Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah, that whole platform
Yeah.
is like a platform that I kind of want to get into. But again, to your point, I want to get 2 of them so we can race, so I could play with them in the backyard and race. And like that, and then the short wheelbase, trophy truck-esque truck. I'd like to get 2 of those and race those in the backyard too.
Yeah.
But
we're trying to figure out some more ways to do some online stuff. Like the online monster truck stuff was so fun when we were doing those comps. But most other things you have to have like matched between, like you have to have a matching course in order for you to do any type of. But we've been talking about trying to set up something with some rally, which is why I talk about rally stuff too. But so I actually have one of the Dakar Team Associated.
Oh yeah,
vehicles on the way.
Nice.
The DK10.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So we need to make it happen.
There's got to be something fun we can do stuff like that. Like
I think because I think we could do a couple cones set up that are spaced with certain dimensions between them. That would be easy enough. And then you're on video, so that's counting seconds. So unless it's like such a split, you wouldn't know, but I think it'd be closer. And I think we just have to make a ramp. So you'd have like, some kind of a swerve that you go around and then a ramp somewhere.
Yeah.
But then you're trying to see basically how many laps you could do in 2 minutes or something, or
sure.
Something like that. Someone's going to crash out, or, you're going to get a little off on a corner. If nothing else, at the end of the 2 minute mark, it pauses and you kind of see who's further along. I totally think there's a way to do it, like where you just do that marking point. But
I think
this just to finish this, that heat wave has my attention very much.
Yeah, for sure.
After the Polaris.
After the
Polaris.
Oh man, I think you got your things backwards. I would go heat wave then Polaris, but
it's already been done. So
there you go. I think you're going to be surprised with that.
No, it's coming.
I think you're going to be surprised with that Dakar car because it's got a 30. I think that one's got the 3300.
Yeah,
brushless. Those things rip, dude. That's a fast little motor for that truck or that car, whatever.
I saw it in person at Horizon RC Fest. And again, the photos don't do it justice for the body at all.
Right.
And I don't know what you do to do it justice. It does have that still, because at the right angle, there's so much visible underneath.
Yeah.
Because of the way that front end is cut. But it's something different. We're going to give it a go. And the price point on them is so good too.
Well, and like what I was saying too, is that it's got such good running gear underneath the Lexan shell that you could change the Lexan shell if you wanted to down. You know what I mean? And have.
But I like rally. So
yeah,
I've talked to Jason Dearden, like when we've talked about stuff, and I'm like, dude, he had a rally car in like his picture behind him when we're doing live, like an interview with him.
Yeah.
And so after I'm like, what do we got to do to get you to make one of those? Like, but he realizes too, like that people really want. It's hard when the market is so scale. Like that's something we should talk about tonight. So much has gone scale in my mind.
Yep.
And maybe it's that I'm not hanging out in the basher world as much, like, like the big basher stuff. But I feel like so many things have gone to like the scale. Like instead of having just short course trucks, now we're going scale with our rock racers and the cages and everything about them.
Yeah.
The monster trucks have gone more scale with the cages and with, with the shocks on axle and stuff instead of having them on trailing arms. And I mean, they've had them on axle before, but like they've gotten quite realistic feeling in the way that they maneuver and do things with the LMT.
Sure.
The rally cars, the drift cars look super scale. Crawlers, of course, have gone to the nth degree on how scale they're making them perform. And that's what really excites me about that heat wave, is just not trying to send it a bajillion miles in the air like I did my original SC10, that I didn't care that much. Like I was just like full sending that thing into the air.
Yep. So that was something that I was surprised. So I got to run a few packs through the UDR today. And I started with, what did I start with? A 4S, burnt that one down. And then I went well, I don't mean burnt it down. I just went through a 4S. But then I went to a 3S. And because I saw people running just 3S in their UDR. And I was actually, at the time, I thought 3S felt better than 4S because it made the truck feel heavy and it made you drive it way more scale. Like it looked really good on 3S. I was surprised. Like it just was like, it would go over a bump and the body would come up, but the tires would stay down, and then it would, it'd meet back together. It looked really cool. And then I went to 6S, and that's where it lives, dude. It lives at 6S. When it was in the sand on 6S, it was like, yes. Like I was like,
you're gonna need that front diff you bought then.
Oh, so. I know but it was so good. Like it was so good. And I was like, because I didn't put paddles on it, I was just running normal stalkers on it, and it was running so good. But yes, the scale thing, I agree that things have gone a lot more scale lately. That's not scale.
No, I just changed from these tires and wheels over smaller and.
Oh.
Yeah,
you get rid of your scramblers?
No, this was a stock truck, and then I, for Axial Fest, tried my best to get it built over for forced steer on that radio and to get this thing going.
Yep.
And this thing's been so much fun to drive. I'm like,
yep.
Finally screwed in all these stupid bolts into the wheels so I could get them mounted.
So Reckless Remote Control is saying HPI WR8 is sweet. I tried getting, so you remember Brandon from RC Lemonade. I tried getting that car from him so many times.
Yeah, he fell off, man, when all that stuff went down with his. Yeah, it was so sad. He was one of the coolest dudes ever.
Yep. I agree. But I kept, every time I spoke to him, I was like, when are you going to sell me your WR8? Because he had, that one was sick. But yeah, the thing that so rally stuff. The hard thing about the
Are you seeing it as much as me? Like, I feel like I keep seeing stuff pop up everywhere.
RC yeah. But the thing is that it's hard. Okay, so Canada RC, he used to do a rally thing that looked awesome out in Canada. What they would do is they would go to like a parking lot that had some dirt and some concrete and whatnot, and they would set up a rally stage, and the guys would run behind their car, and it would go over the jumps, it'd go over the bridge, whatever it was. The problem was no one was taking footage down low and making it look like scale rally. You know what I mean? And I think that's the problem.
It's not how they shoot rally. Dude, so much is aerials. I just been watching it, dude. There's so many aerials.
I believe
I've already been thinking there's a video I want to make.
Yeah.
When I get that Dakar rally.
Yeah.
But I got a drone over it. So I got to get my kids to drive the car so I can drone over as it's going through stuff.
Yeah.
So much drone footage. The corners they'll get down low or when they'll jump off of stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you could technically walk and actually go over it like a drone.
Yeah.
Technically with a selfie stick out.
Yep.
But yeah, there's a lot of aerial shots from the top.
Yeah, I agree with that. The hard thing, that's going to be that's so frustrating. I tried doing that with my kid. I'm like, just drive in a straight line. Don't stop till I tell you to. And he like turns or he'll stop. And I'm like, keep going. Cause it's like, by the time I get my drone, cause we've tried that with the UDR, by the time I get my drone set up for a shot, he peels off and I can't track him. And I'm
Right.
just like, dude, I want to get
It's like
low.
filming boats, right?
Yeah.
It's like you don't know where they're gonna go, and they dart so fast when they
Yeah.
corner. It's like, no, just tell me you're gonna go right or when you're gonna turn. Like you got to narrate this thing because
Yep.
it's going so fast. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's way easier to film yourself because you know what you're gonna do. Like people
Dude,
don't get it.
And I have the big Phantom 3. So when we go, we've done the lake thing where I'm chasing a boat, and that thing sounds angry because they'll go and I'll be like totally hockey stopping my Phantom, and it's like, yeah. It's so bad. People are like, "What's going on?" I'm like,
Yeah.
it's just my drone. Calm down. So, what's going on, VNB Speed? Gear down, volt up, as Mr. Holmes says all day.
Yeah.
2S LMTs are very close to scale. 3S LMTs so much fun, but not even remotely close to scale. I agree, unless you drive it down that way. That's how we.
I don't ever use the 3S power. Like, I mean, but if you're
Mm-mm.
going for like huge freestyles, like I only do it at the big events where people are like, well, he just did it at Josh Rose won the Monster Jam World Finals one with an asterisk connects to it.
Asterisks?
Yeah, the first place person from last year wasn't there, and the second place person from last year didn't get to compete because they shut it down because of time. I was like the next person up, so
Sammy Sosa style.
I just give him that. Nah, but it was, dude, I don't think I'd beat his because I wasn't running an LMT and what he was doing out there. There's not a chance I would have. I had my Pro C with the acrylic, and it would have gone huge.
Oh,
but I couldn't have done.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done the saves and the cool stuff that the LMT did. So
sure,
yeah. So I just like to give him a hard time because I didn't get to run, so I can always pull that out of my back pocket. Well, you know, they didn't let me run, so
yeah.
Which really screws up my video for the whole event. But
well, you know,
a lot of things screwed it up.
I'm like,
I'm hearing a lot of crying there.
That's funny.
But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like rally's coming. The hard thing is they're all so different, right? So I actually have them pulled up here on a page. Let's just pop it up here.
Do it.
I was kind of prepped today because I knew you might be a little behind. So Charisma just announced their Subaru.
Yep.
I
think it's
fantastic.
It's slightly bigger than 10 scale, isn't it though?
You know, so that's the thing. They're all different sizes and scales, and
yeah, I thought that one's more of an 8 scale buggy. Yeah,
it looks great though.
Oh heck yeah.
I'm not playing it for whatever copyright reasons and whatnot, but
I haven't seen their video. Was their video good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. They do both on-road, off-road, cool stuff with it. We'll play without music. Compromise. Good driver.
I just thought about that. I could do my trail hikes with one of those.
Yeah, if you stayed away from the big rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. That's so Pastrana. Like kind of a move.
Gotta jump a lake. Jump a little
So then they've got at Team Associated. This is what prompted me to say it too. And I guess it's a touring car. They kind of float the same because some of the rally cars do on road, like in certain places. The European stuff, they'll go down to like Africa.
They call it tarmac. They call it tarmac and rally. Yeah. Come on.
So, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the rally.
I like this one a lot.
That's a really cool. It's a really cool scale look. Like it just looks the part, and it's got the rally block tire like style tires on it. Super rad.
Yep.
Super duper.
Tires look kind of cheapish to me, but tires are replaceable.
Yeah, and I'm surprised the Associated rubber that I've been getting lately has been pretty good. Like those little pin seeker wheel or tires that I got are nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of tread on them, so maybe that's just because of wearing on. They know people are going to drive on cement.
But
or off road, I guess.
I think it looks like an old Audi. I don't think it's licensed as an Audi.
Anyway, it looks super good. There's a bunch. You know, Tamiya has a zillion different ones out that look amazing.
I wanted to get the Vita Bug Rally from Tamiya. They're like, I think they're like $100, and I was like, ooh, I really want to do that.
I was looking, so I'd gotten the HPI WRX Flux. This, and I don't know how long it's been back in stock since HPI's been back in. I know that I had gotten an email, so that's what prompted me. Was today I got an email about this being back in stock.
Nice.
From Hobby Recreation Products, HRP. So the dealers and whatnot, they send this out into people that want to buy.
Sure.
But yeah, so there's just been so many, and then the long line of Tamiyas here that are so good looking.
Oh, I know.
And scale, but you got to build them. So.
And the Tamiyas, I think, are not as
pretty small,
bashable. Yeah. They're not as
off road.
Yeah.
But this for me, like the price is great, $320.
I can't wait for Associated to come out with the Apex 2 kit. I don't know why they haven't done it yet. Hopefully they do it for the winter time. But if they do a kit where, I know you're not a kit guy, but I mean, if they did a kit where you built it and then you got to put whatever body you wanted on it, that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Traxxas had a small rally car too. Josh,
they do.
They have the Slash.
It's not that small though. It's kind of biggish because based on their Slash, right?
Yeah.
And they have one in their Mini too.
The Trax.
The Trax one.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, but they had that like Fiesta, the Ford Fiesta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's big. It's surprisingly big. Like it's.
Well, so was the Losi. So I had the Losi Rally 10 SCTE back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And I loved it, but it was huge. Like I would love it to be smaller. Like keep it nice and tight and whatever. So
yeah.
Because 10 scale of that is actually more like 6 scale of.
Yeah.
They were calling it a 10 scale car, but it was like a 6th scale.
Yep.
Car. Because even in 8 scale, these things are much more narrow, and that's the main thing. Is the scale everything was so wide to just drop it on a different platform. It was like,
yeah,
I wish you'd narrow it up, like Tamiya, but keep it. So, yeah, the Associated one looks really good. That might be one I have to go for.
Reckless is saying it's the Fiesta based WPL one is fun for drift. That's the cool thing about these. So I'm surprised Kyosho doesn't have a rally. I mean, their cars could be they're basically all the same kind of pan setup, and surprisingly they don't have one yet. But you could definitely put drift tires on those and just really send them to slide and stuff, which is a lot of fun. The only bummer about the Associated one is that it's brushed.
15 turn, yep.
Yeah, and it's like I think I'd like
just 12, a bit more than that.
Yeah, 12.
Even more than 12.
I
would want even more. I'd want like 3800.
33. Yeah.
33, 38.
Yeah. I think 33 would be just perfect. Censored 33. Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, because their brushless is really good, but it's got a quick power ramp. Like it goes, and then all of a sudden it's like bing, you're full pin. And it makes it, you have to change your driving style for it, but it's still pretty fun.
So Mello, she says the problem with the Associated is the bushings, friction shocks, and brushed.
The
bushings don't bother me though if it is bushings, because I would be splashing it through stuff.
Yeah, that Associated Rally is actually oil shocks. It's either the Rally or the Touring.
They're just plastic though, but it doesn't matter. Oil filled still.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're not friction.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine them doing friction. No, these are oil filled.
Yeah, the other ones are friction. The 240Z and then the old Datsun one, those are friction filled or friction shocks. I think. I'm pretty sure. Which is, so what would be cool is if you go to Associated's page and you look at the Datsun, I would actually put that and paint it up to look like a rally car. I think that one would be sick. It'd look like an old Opel. I'd absolutely love to see some Baja Ray UDR racing on short course style tracks. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Here. Where's they're way at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I would put those rally cars way up at the top.
I know, right?
They're too cool to be buried down here. So this Sport Datsun right here is.
Yeah, I would make that into a rally car. like an old 70s Datsun rally car, that would be sick.
Oh yeah, friction. Because they're just meant for just on-road stuff.
Yep.
So driving on pretty smooth pavement may not be the biggest issue,
right,
with it being friction. But yeah, if you're gonna try and do any type of off-road,
what's that? What's that old Datsun supposed to be? A 240? There's some Datsun people out here probably. I don't remember what it is. I'm trying to look up the rally car. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Datsun 240Z Rally. Oh, bro. Yes. See.
oh, I'm showing the page and I don't have it up here. I'm on the site looking at them.
Can you
That's
look up
referencing them?
Can you look up 19th or just put in Datsun 240Z Rally?
Let me just show this one first.
Okay. Yep, that one.
So this was theirs. I was over here, and for some reason, I hadn't put this back up. That's what I was talking about.
Okay, so
and looking. So now,
can you open a new tab and
Datsun
240Z Rally? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's wicked.
Yep. See, that's what I would do. I'd throw it down like that and just imagine that in the rally style. Heck yeah. That would be super awesome.
So these are oil-filled shocks on this? They look like they were.
Yeah. Yep. I'm pretty sure those
ones look the same. Maybe not.
Either I think those ones are oil, or maybe it's the new Touring that's oil. One of them have oil, and I was kind of surprised. I was shocked.
Don't look like it to me.
It'll say in specs if you go up.
Just says coilover shock absorbers. It doesn't say oil filled.
If you go up to the top left, it'll say specifications. There you go, and it should say if it's oil or friction there. Maybe not.
It doesn't say.
Earl Moorhead says the old rally cars are cool and nitro with all the old sounds. Yes, that would be awesome.
Doesn't look like it is, but this one,
I know one of them had it. I'm just not sure which one it was. Because I was surprised. I was like, why don't all of them have it?
Specs. I'll try your specs again. Whoops. It doesn't say in specs.
Okay, now you're making me go and look. You're making me go look. Should I look for AR60 parts while I'm at it?
No, but did you see my comment on your video?
No.
AR60s are dead. On last week's stream.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought I saw something pop up, and I was like, wait a minute.
I was sitting down watching today to see if I needed to reference anything.
Oh, my I don't know what's been going on, but for some reason it says we've been crushing 20 gigs of phone data, and then it ramps us down. I'm like, what? 20 gigs?
Yeah, I don't see oil filled, man. That's an easy swap out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good starting point. Most anything I've ever bought in the 300 range, 329, that'd have been like the old. Was running a 12 turn, but these are running 15 turn. You think?
I don't know, but that one they went up to the 550 can, which is nicer.
Tony, is you getting the Traxxas Raptor R VXL? I am not. When I have the money, that much money, I'm gonna buy the low C.
You're like, that's a hard pass.
They would be cool in nitro because of the sound.
Heck yeah.
Especially if you just get it to kind of like rev limit
Yeah.
It's so cool.
So the wheelbase on those is very short. They're like 10 and a half or something like that. It's a typical touring car body size of what, sorry, someone, where is it? These old flapping lips asked, how big is that team associated? I know that they call it 10th, but what's the wheelbase? It's like, I want to say the wheelbase is like 220, whatever typical touring car is. Something like that.
Brandon Singleton, why not? Well, because the Heat Wave is super scale and the way I'd want to drive it. I already have the Arma Sentins that are basically like a Slash on 3S. I got 2 of them. I don't really have a need for it. I don't really have a good, cool scale trophy truck.
Yeah.
Like the Heat Wave.
Yep.
So they're both the same price. I'd lean toward that since it's not something that I have. And I think it'd make really cool videos.
Yep. These old flapping lips. Yeah. 200, 210, something like that. Whatever the typical touring car bodies, if you look up Proto Farm, that's the Pro Line version of the touring cars. That's what size the bodies are, or the wheelbase is. It's like something in that small 200 range. Yeah. Brandon's asking what's Arma up to. I haven't heard much from Arma.
I haven't either, but I know like the Outcast isn't a thing anymore. Like,
I don't know anything.
Well, I don't either. I mean, I was just looking because I was going to sell I have the limited edition, 10th anniversary edition one. And I don't remember how many they made of that, 500 or 5,000 or I don't remember, but I ended up somehow with 2 of them, one to bash and one to keep on the shelf. Well, as I've been looking to clear stuff out, that's one of them I was looking to just clear out. Like, well, I'll just get rid of it. So I'm selling it for $400 and I can't get anybody to buy it. Brand new in the box. New, the 6S line is at like $530. So it's like $100 some bucks off.
Yeah.
And it's limited edition. And I can't find anybody for it. Now, I will say that I did have it somehow accidentally listed as Rockford, Illinois, which, and I was saying that it was, in my description says it's in Coopersville, Michigan. So maybe that made people think it was like
too good to, it's
not legit.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you go to Outcast,
man, that looks so good right there.
All they have, so this one's on back order, the 1/10 scale, and that's it. There's no 8 scale Outcast listed on Horizon. Or 7th scale. They have the Notorious. So if you look at Arma lineup right now, they've got the Typhon, which this roller is $419. I can't even sell the used one I have for $200.
You know what's crazy? People are running Typhon in 8 scale buggies right now. Like
they're awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in like legit racing. Yeah.
Yeah. The TLR ones.
Yep.
Yeah. But there's no 8 scale or 7 scale, so they've got 8th, I guess. They have the Notorious 6S, which is basically the same thing. They're $550. And so I've got the 10th anniversary one for $400 on Facebook Marketplace and can't get anybody to touch it. It's crazy. But it's summer and people here spend their money on boats and off-roading.
Yeah, so. I have, did I tell you I'm grabbing one of those kits? For sure.
Which kit?
The
boat?
Yeah, why can't I think of the name now? Caught me off guard.
The aluminum boat?
Yes. I'm trying to look it up because I totally just spaced on it.
The one that grind hard plumbing does, the little shorty boats.
Yep, the little jet boat.
They make an RC. What's it called?
It's like ProJet or something like that. I don't remember. Jet.
Why did they discontinue the Armatalion EXP? I don't know. Best basher. It is one of my top 2 Armas. That and the Fire Team, I think, are my favorite
I never see you drive the fire team.
The fire team is set up for snow.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's my snow. It looks so cool in the snow.
Yep.
And I won't destroy it that way by doing something stupid.
One of those little guys. Jetstream boats.
Jetstream, yes.
Yep.
You did it. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna be trading you when you're done with it though.
Yep.
Or buying it from you.
Well, so I've been emailing back and forth with them, so I'm gonna do it and make a video of the fabrication process and weld it all up. I've heard it's pretty tough to weld up, but I weld that stuff all day, so for me it's not really, for the average hobbyist, they're not going to be welding.
People knew Jetstream.
Yeah, they're pretty dope. They're pretty dope. So
Pro boat, no jet boat.
No, it's not done yet. That was the next topic that I was going to bring up, is that I don't know if I would call it a free day tomorrow. Don't tell my wife it's a free day, but everyone is at one of those kid water park things and I'm home. So I was like,
you're working.
Yeah.
Alone.
I'm working.
Yeah.
And so
you just got to make sure you're working when they leave and when they get back.
I know. So
when
I was like,
coming back? Exactly. I'll be. I know. Find my friends on. Find my phone on.
I know. That was the thing. I was like, can I go on a little hike tomorrow morning? And I talked to Kellen. He's like, you better not, because something happens, you're going to ruin your wife's vacation. And I was like, true. Maybe I'll go Thursday morning, because Thursday morning they're heading home. So if something happens, then they're still on the way home anyway. So, but so tomorrow I'm going to be in the shop all day, probably playing, building SCX6 parts. No, it's not done yet. I would need to get that thing done, dude. It is. I was talking to Tony offline. It's like, I feel guilty every time I look at something that's not the SCX6. And it's like, I just want to get it done so I can build other stuff and play with other stuff. Cause I'm like, but that is such a more, the other thing is that I was talking, I don't know if I talked about this on the last one, was that work has been so busy for me, and some of the parts I need to make, my machine isn't set up to make those parts right now, and work comes first because that puts food on the table. So I've been like,
because yours is a dual purpose, like wood or metal cutting machine, right?
Yeah.
And it's set up for wood right now for the projects you're doing.
Yeah. So I'm like,
it'll be I mean, we were shooting for a goal, but it's still going to be an Operation 11 Charlie build.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So,
we'll figure out a cool way to do it for him.
There's still Pro Line by the Fire.
Everything changes. Yep, there's still Pro Line by the Fire. There's still the Gauntlet. I think they should come to that. But I think Operation 11 Charlie should be like, I know Horizon's like hooking us up, but Great Lakes is pretty cool too.
Yeah. So Racing Case asked, what thickness is the aluminum? I thought I heard it was 090, which is under 1/8 inch, but I'm not sure. But I weld that stuff all day. So
Josh Rhodes, yes, I'm selling the TLR Tune Typhon because I have the normal Typhon, but M2C'd out. So it's basically similar. And I just shot it at 180 some feet, 190 some feet at Horizon RC Fest. And all I broke was so here's one difference. So I'm like, why have two of these? So I broke the very front body post. You know how the buggies had that little front one, the single? It didn't even break. It just came off the screw. So I just have to screw it back on. But I did break one of the upper bulkhead carriers that hold the hinge pin carrier, I guess, from the bulkhead. So I don't know if I have to replace the whole bulkhead or what. I don't think I do, because on the TLR Tune Typhon, they're metal. So I think it's a piece, but I still think I have to take quite a bit apart to get to it.
Yeah.
But that's all that happened, man. Like, from sending it, and I never let go of the trigger. I was just like, freedom,
America, let's go.
And I was just like, as many flips as I could do for you guys. Let's do it. And I just pegged the ground. But yeah, nothing, dude. It was insane. Especially in the front body posts only popped because they're all running like soft packs to do 6S, two soft. I was running the two 5,000 milliamp like 3S. Like, the body's like sitting crooked. I can't even clamp it on because like it's too big anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So racing case
Tune would fly too. It's super. What is it? 40. What's the strong aluminum? The
70,
70, 75.
Or 75. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking 50, 52, but 70, 75. Yep.
But yeah, so it's got the nice stuff.
Take it easy, Matt Harris.
Hey, Matt.
Racing Case is saying he needs to try to figure out a trip
what's up?
to the Gauntlet. So a little bit of disclosure here. I was a little. One of the things that took the wind out of my sails to finish, not that I could have finished really, but took the wind out of the sails completely to finish for Axial Fest for the XEX6 was that my wife was a little iffy on me going down there, and then planned a trip instead. Not because of that, but like we talked about it and we're like, okay, I get it. Like it's kind of a lot for me and my kid to go down by ourselves. It's a big trip, right? And I'm not
huge.
Yeah, and I'm not like, it's not that I'm not getting anything out of it, but it's like
you don't make money from it like some people do by going. Yeah,
right, exactly. So I was like, nah. And so she scheduled this trip that we just got back from, but I was only there from Sunday, and then scheduled us for another trip that's like our big summer vacation in August, and I'm like, okay, and it's not my first choice, but I'm just kind of going with it. And I'm trying not to be like, I'm super grateful about it. But it's like, I don't want to do that. So now I'm going to be like, okay, now, well, the big thing is that trip that she just scheduled, that's our big trip, overlaps 2 weekends. And it's the weekends of the big festivals in town that I was going to go to, not in town, but locally. So there's Warrior Weekend and then there's RC Palooza on either weekend. And a GP
kills them both
and a GP for Dalton to race at. And I was like, ugh. So now I'm going to be like, hey, you took all this away. I'm going somewhere in September. So it's either going to be Gauntlet or it's going to be Pro Line by the Fire.
Nice. And
I'm like, I got to figure out a way. Cause now that I don't know how that's going to work, but we got to, so I'm building a piece for a restaurant that's being opened by 2 kind of athlete celebrities here in Seattle. And I'm pretty stoked about it. So the contract just went through this weekend and I'm like, yeah, buddy. So
Can I get some tickets along with that?
No, but it's just more of like
it's super cool. It's super cool.
Yeah, it's just more of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's cool that it's like I have a little connection with them now, and I don't know. It's pretty fun. So
yeah.
But the bad thing is I've got to build it now. Hence the work putting food on the table. I've got to build it and have it done by September. And we're about to start August, and I'm gone for a week and a half in August.
Oh, at least you'll be done when September comes around. Like yes. Pro Line by the Fire and that are both like late September. Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing.
Our weather is fantastic in September, by the way.
My wife's birthday is that date, or on the 25th. I thought the 25th is the weekend.
No, it's the 22nd, 23rd.
Okay.
Monday is the 25th.
Okay, well maybe I can be
Great Lakes Gauntlet's only the 22nd, 23rd. So it's Friday night. They do like purgatory and like night game stuff. 22nd, and Saturday is like the comp and whatever, and then more fun in the evening, afternoon. And then we usually just get up and leave Sunday morning. Like you don't even need to. Like most people are done by like 5, 6 p.m. But it's like,
yeah,
let's hang out like one more night and just
party,
have fun. Yeah. So, but
Josh
Rhodes, yes, I'm selling the TLR Tune Typhon. I only drove it a few times. I just somehow cracked the rear wheel on it. I didn't even go that big with it. I don't even know what happened, but there's a crack in it. But I only ran it 3S because I got it at Horizon RC Fest. They're like, hey, here. I'm like, well, I got to do a video on this like right now while we're here. And I brought an LMT to build, like a roller. I took all the electronics I was going to use to build that, and I put it in it. So it's like a 3S, 4S max, but it was awesome on that. Like it could do 6S, and I'm running on 4S.
That's cool.
It was wicked, like on 4S, because that's I think all they can use for 8-scale racing anyway, right?
4S, yep.
So it was an awesome 4S buggy, and tearing around everything there. Yep. Yeah, I don't know what I did, but I did hit a guy in the head with it.
That's funny.
At Horizon RC Fest, but yeah, it's just like I don't need two of them because all I'm going to do with the Typhon, it's not my style of driving, is long jump them. It's just build it to just launch.
Yeah.
So I'm going to repair this one for next year to launch at Horizon RC Fest.
That's awesome.
Try and beat if West and them show up again. I just got to beat them. That's my goal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, $200 all I'm asking for it.
That's super cool.
Plus shipping if it's going to be a shipping thing.
On your show sheet, sorry I didn't get one out on Instagram. I was on the road, but Backyard RC Comps, what's that all about?
Oh, yeah. So I don't know if Travis is still in here. He was just in here a little bit ago. Yeah, there is 10:30. Travis came over. So I didn't even mention that. That's a cool new thing too. He built my Unimog.
Oh, cool.
For me, and put the scalar fab metal pieces on everything for me. I haven't done the body yet, which looks like a whole nother build of its own. Like it's multiple body panels and cages and interiors, and there's a lot. So I might just try to send that away to somebody to have that made, like get it done. Because I want it to look cool too. Like it's going to be a trail truck. It's not going to be like a destroy it truck. It'll be I'll probably run the stock tires because they just look cool.
Yep.
With the wheels and everything. So but yeah. So I need to finish that. Yeah, he's here. So he came over and he brought his LMT. So he has an LMT that he got. And I we didn't know what we were gonna do, whatever. And I was like, I feel like racing. Like I got the itch after going to Horizon RC Fest to race again. And so we just put up and we just figured out a couple of Chicago style because we only had basically my yard isn't level and I can't do like matched race lanes. So the only way to make it fair is to both travel the exact same grounds.
Sure.
So do it like Chicago style where you end up both hitting both sides and both jumps equally.
Did you start in the middle on a stack or did you start opposing each
outside
other?
And just do an oval?
Yeah.
So
arena style.
Whatever jump you hit.
Yep.
But arena style, they still only do like one truck, like instead of two now.
What?
Yeah, they only do one truck on the course at a time.
What?
And they time it. Yeah, that's what they've been doing. Yeah.
Why would you go to an arena show then?
Motocross.
Is it motocross?
There's times. There's they got the VMX guys that do the big jumps and all that. Freestyle, they've made it better, but it's still not a lot they can do. Yeah. There's not a lot.
No.
But yeah, so he came over, we did that, then we comped and we ran through my side yard crawler track twice.
Nice.
Which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And dude, that new build that I built, that Maz Designs, is insane. The cheat code chassis.
Yeah.
So good.
Dude,
so good.
I need to figure something out for my 24s because my printer's down.
Yes, I heard.
And I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'm either going to have to fix it, like buy a new print head, or I don't think I'm going to be able to buy a new printer before I go on vacation. My wife would probably have my nuts. So I'm like, let's not do that. But I got to figure something out because I got to bring my 24s on vacation with me. Like me and the kid.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about buying another one and making 2 monster trucks, but I'm taking both.
I finished my night custom chassis. It looks really good.
Nice.
The SCX 24 one. I was gonna say Axial, but yeah, that's it. Josh Rhodes says they only do time trial racing in arenas that aren't wide enough. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Most of them I've seen recently have been all timed, but I thought it was just after COVID, I guess. I just haven't watched a whole lot with the TV show not really being on
We have a weird
normal NBC or whatever.
Yeah, we have a Tacoma Dome and the Lumen Field.
Yep.
And we used to have the King Dome, which was huge. And that's where all the monster trucks used to run in the King Dome. So we would have two shows, King Dome and Tacoma Dome. King Dome was always the one you wanted to go to. Tacoma Dome was kind of like, we'll see.
Too small.
But I went to Lumen Field for the first time last year for Monster Jam, and that was the first, dude. That was the first year that like Ryan Anderson went and
rainy Cynthia, though, right?
No,
was it a mud fest? No. Okay.
Oh, it was cold. It was like clear and cold, but it was awesome. Like it was so rad. Oh, I'll never go and watch one in the Tacoma Dome again. Like after seeing it at Lumen Field, hands down, way better. Remember I sent you the video of Ryan Anderson burning it down in freestyle, and it was like epic. It was so good.
That is right. Racing case, I don't think the AX24 would just bolt right up to the Night Customs because it has a different skid plate than the SCX24 does, and the way that everything bolts through it. However, the axles being 4-steer and the links being the same size and the long shock, a lot of other things from it would be pretty cool, but you'd probably have to get a skid plate from an SCX24. Yeah, Anaheim Monster Jams, man. All of the California ones they go there like more than anywhere.
Yeah.
And yes, Psycho 13 Garage Dirk, I do blame you for not telling me as I built the cheat code in a live stream that, you can't just build it. You have to like have the links and everything ready, because the way that the sliders on the side go on block
everything.
So you can't. You gotta build in the links in the bottom skid plate or the bottom skid first before you put on the side skids. And I built it all out like, look at how cool this is. Then I had to like tear it all down, rebuild the freaking thing. However, now that it is built, it's awesome. Oh, I can show something.
Show it.
I have two things. I have the new FureTech Monster Truck tires. These are pretty nice.
Oh, yeah.
However, I don't think I have the parts that bolt in to actually finish them. So I don't know what happened there. Body. Where's that body? Body.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing. I need to get a different body, too. My 24s are a hot mess right now. Hot mess. I need to.
Here, you take over for a second. I'm a little slow because my knee's still bum and I got to run up the stairs.
All right. Should I talk about?
No, here it is. Check this body out.
Ooh, little FJ.
Yeah. Top comes off so you can paint it separate.
Nice.
And Maz now makes for his cheat code the skid plates so that they'll match up to this.
Oh, that's nice.
Lock on, and then you'll have the rear end just be open and exposed. But actually, his other skid part like blocks all the. It's fantastic, man.
All right.
That's my show me, because this guy's normally I think it's built for what chassis.
What's his website?
Maz Designs.
MAZZ.
He doesn't make this body. This body's from Etsy.
Oh.
Just Etsy.
I know, but what's Maz Designs website?
Maz MAZZ-designs.com. Oh, check this out. He's also got the clear filament to do the headlights with.
Ooh.
These pop off of here.
Very nice. I like it.
These are all done with one of those new fancy
SLA
water printers. But for 24 scale, I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Well, it looks like I'm not going to be getting a Maz Designs one because they're all sold out. What's the other one? Hardline? I want that bug one.
Oh, Hard Park.
Hard Park.
Yeah, here, hold on. You take over for 1 second.
Okay.
I'll be right back. My knee.
So maybe you guys can in the chat let me know what direction I should go with my. Oh, it's at the shop right now. So I want to redo my mini Lazarus. It's just time, and I think I need to do something different. So, but I really like the scale stuff. The VW Dementor one that I wanted is out, but I need something to take on vacation with us, and I need something for my son's car because we're not going to be somewhere where we could do 10 scale, and we're literally, it's one of those vacations where it's like planes, trains, and automobiles and a boat. So it's like we're doing multiple different methods of transportation. So I need to pack light and he needs to pack light. But I could probably get away with just putting a different body on his. Mine needs a full redo, and I'm kind of torn on what to do with it. I'm not really sure what direction to go. I need to get some kind of like frame. The thing that bothers me the most is mounting the bodies. The bodies, my Lazarus body was a pain to mount. His C10 body was a pain to mount. They were both hard bodies. And I want something that's just stays low. What I'd like is to get a chassis kit that accepts the body the right way, that lays low so that I could put all my battery, everything nice and compact. And mine's 4-steer too, so I kind of need to play with all that. I was really contemplating doing just do enough to make them equal. I don't need to be equal with him. Come on now. No way. I got to beat him every single time. This kid's becoming a wheelman. I need every little what's it called? Advantage I can get.
You need a cheat code.
They're not in stock.
Well,
they're not in stock.
I know a guy.
Yeah, you got another cheat code waiting to go.
I do. Actually,
I
need to get a long wheelbase one because I think that it'll look better with the.
Well, that's what how my Lazarus is set up right now. RC Jeep guy said, just making enough to make it equal, and it's like, heck no, I can't be equal to my son. He's got so much more skill than me now. It's like, no.
And you need to put him in his place. Give him somewhere to grow to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And RC Jeep guy says, I'm supposed to have more skill. I think those days are quickly evading me. Yeah. Quickly evading me.
The cheat code is meant to have the C10 front and the deadbolt rear. However, he makes one now for the Gladiator, which is the C10 front and the even longer rear.
I think I'd have to measure them.
I don't think you have Gladiator rear end. That's really long.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So it'd be perfect swap for you. That's what I have, but he recommends this with the longer one just because of the size of the front.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really short on the back if you.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think that's why he recommends it. So I need to order his longer wheelbase one, but I think I have the titanium one left. I don't know which one I built. I think I built the carbon fiber one, and the other one's titanium. So let me see. I can look through my
ABS. Sorry, I'm replying to one of the comments here. ABS is overrated. I took my ABS module out of my truck. We die like men. Plus, it's way more cool if you go down screeching your tires. Who wants to be chattering their tires as they're slamming on the brakes? Do a full hockey skid. That's what I'm about. Speaking of, check out this shirt, man. Look at that.
Yeah.
Die Hard RC.
Oh, I did see that. People actually commented on it earlier.
Yeah. I designed it all day.
You are a designer. Very good for you.
Thank you. I'd like to toot my own horn. Toot, toot. I watched parts of Anchorman until my wife was like, "This is not kid appropriate."
Oh yeah.
I was like, "Come on, why not?"
Like 90% of it
I
isn't.
know.
But most of it they don't even realize. I mean,
Well, it was on TV,
mm,
but still, it was like my daughter's smart enough where she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yes."
see, Travis.
Take it easy.
So I mentioned it earlier. So I'm gonna go over the list of things first of all. Make sure that we're good
Do it.
on what we told people we were gonna talk about. So backyard comps was a ton of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Made me want to start monster truck racing. We just did it simple. You got drivers ready? Both say yeah. Then you just say go. Like there's no like ready because you don't want like there's no ready set go. Like don't count like it's just a wait and then all of a sudden go and then like flashlight racing, right? You don't know when it's gonna hit.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about the new axial. So basically I mentioned the base camp. New low C. I talked about that because I really want it.
Mm-hmm.
Beach fun, love, hate. So, but yeah, basically we got it. So the elephant in the room, I went to the Horizon RC site and there's the big red ticker on the thing about the orders.
Oh yeah.
And all the issues with the site in the back end. But man, they haven't shipped the green motos yet, the pro motos. Anybody that ordered the green ones, I don't think has gotten them. Red and blue like are now even shipping second orders, I feel like, to hobby shops. And green is still like,
are they allowing you to change?
Crickets. I mean, I don't know why they would. They've already got an order of like who ordered in what order. So I know I ordered mine the same day it was announced, like I don't know, noon-ish.
Do you think
because I was doing the comp, like we were doing our comp, and I came back and immediately ordered it after our comp was done. So that was the bummer. They announced it and released it. I don't know. So I guess it was only 2 hours after it was released, right? Because it probably wasn't until 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Or 9 a.m., 10 p.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., somewhere in there. We were out on the trail. It's like freaking awesome. And like I can't order it because we're running a comp. Plus, there's some lady that got injured and we were trying to get her off the trail somehow. And there was no like Horizon staff on the trail yet. It was just us running a comp.
Mm-hmm.
And so they came to us. Like I'm like, I can't make that call because we're gonna crush a ton of stuff. Like all the gates they've set up.
Yeah.
This whole area if we drive up there to get her. So which we ended up having to do, and I just reset them up as they'd go over and crush them or whatever. We try not to crush them, but
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, none of the green ones. Like I haven't even driven one yet. Like I haven't even seen one other than the one at.
People are saying they're starting to be delivered to people in their Facebook groups.
The container. I think it's because of the lipos and all that. They come with a battery pack and all that, and I think it's an issue with that.
Oh yeah.
I'm not like complaining about it. Like I get it, but it's like hard. It's like it's gonna be yesterday's news, which doesn't matter. We can still have fun with it, but like I baked in the whole thing to my wife. Like this thing is gonna get a ton of views and it's gonna pay for itself. And at this point, I'm like, should I cancel it? Like, because I want it, but like I don't have the money for it if it's not gonna make money.
You know what my honest opinion is?
Cancel it.
Canceled. John Chris, that
Mima canceled.
Mr. Oates canceled. Little Debbie canceled.
White dude canceled.
Fat shaming Little Debbie canceled.
Yep. I saw him too in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Fantastically funny.
Yeah, I would cancel it. I would cancel it and get the Baja Ray. The Baja Ray is going to be
it's back order now too. The Heat Wave.
Oh, what a jerk!
You can still get the other one, but I don't want the other one. The whole point of getting it is to get the Heat Wave.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, I think the motorcycle is awesome. There's no question about that. I think it's going to lose its pizzazz. a little bit.
You can't cancel, they said.
What?
How could you not cancel an order? It hasn't shipped.
Yeah.
I could just like tell my credit card to just
cancel.
Well, you can. So they go to bill you, and you could just have them on a not allowed to bill you. Yeah.
Yeah. Canceled.
At that point, it wouldn't ship. But I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But it is a from an influencer standpoint a huge bummer.
Yeah. For sure.
To not make content in the beginning when it came out.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. I don't know. I honestly think that you can make some really good content that hasn't been seen with that yet.
Yeah.
But I don't know that the juice is worth the squeeze.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could turn around and sell it at the same point. Like I'm not going to cancel it. If anything, I just put it up for sale, and I wouldn't gouge. I'd just be whatever the cost was, plus my tax or whatever, and just make it that for somebody that wants it locally. But I'm a huge. I mean, I was up late till 1 a.m. last night watching the motocross racing.
Yeah.
And Deegan is killing it, man. So people got the blue one should be making some Danger Boy Deegan jerseys for theirs. I did order it from Horizon. I was sitting there at Axial Fest. I'd seen it. I'd already done the video on it. And my wife was, so money's been tight. Like, just being real. Money's been tight. So
life.
Yeah, it's life. So that's why I've been selling stuff. I sold been ran over by a monster truck 5 times XRT for $400. Deal of the century, man.
Wow.
That thing was freaking brand new. Like, I'd driven it twice. 3 times if you count the time we ran over the monster truck on accident. Kind of on accident. Just we weren't good enough. We weren't skilled enough as the truck was driving like this to shoot the gap this way through. Very hard to do.
Yeah.
Driving like this and time it to get through without getting crushed by the tires. In fact, it got crushed by front and rear on several of those attempts of those multiple times. Anyway, that thing fired up. Like, I thought we were hearing clicking and stuff. I don't know what it was. I fired that thing up the other day. Other than the tire being squished, like one of the tires and having a flat spot, like freaking brand new, dude. No clicking, no diff, nothing. One crack in the body down the side, like the whole side.
Yeah.
But I cleaned it all up. It looked like freaking brand new. And I told the guy, I'm like, dude, we ran over the monster. Like, it was in the description. Ben ran over by a real monster truck. But, I did a video, showed it running, like.
Yeah.
And he came and tested it. He's like, dude, this thing's freaking sweet. Like, he basically Frankenstein zip tied it on the side and put different tires on it, listed it again for sale. He's probably going to make money on it.
$400 on it.
Yeah.
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 Not ran over by a monster truck.
He probably turned around and sold it for $600, $650.
Yeah.
But he put Badlands on it or whatever, like the big, which are, I think, too heavy for any of those trucks. They just destroy diffs. But,
sure.
That's the thing with upgrading. I watch all these X-Max people and I'm like, dude, I run mine box stock and they're all like, oh, the diffs are terrible. We blow bearings. And I'm just like, dude, I haven't replaced a freaking thing on mine. Like, I just keep driving it. Like, not that I'm trying to tout, toot Traxxas's horn.
Yeah, let's like, oh, it's that poop in your mouth. Poop.
Yeah. Poop. Why would you say that?
Poop out your mouth. Poop. I could watch that.
But I mean, I haven't had the issues, but I don't upgrade anything on it. For me, it's like, that's what it was built to do.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with it doing what it's doing. Like, it's very monster truck like. But you start like going bigger and they just start tearing stuff. It's just a money pit. Straight up money pit. Whereas I haven't dropped anything into mine. Like, it's just fun to take out and run and tear stuff up. But I'm trying to sell it too, but I think I had $700. That particular 8S one, I've only driven a handful of times with the rock and roll body. So it looks brand new, little dust. So
Oh yeah, you
$30
just got
off
that
for
like last
somebody.
year, didn't you?
Yeah. Yep. Right before winter too.
Yep. Yep.
So
I remember that.
got yelled at for throwing the body on the ground right out of the box. So I'm like, this will help me feel better about
Scratching it.
scratching the body. Just throw
Yeah.
the truck on the ground.
Yep.
But yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's the XRT is a tank because it doesn't have the those wheels and tires don't expand so much, so it doesn't flip and go as nuts. But
yeah,
it doesn't tear stuff up either. It's just low slung and insanely tough.
I still want to try the MT10. Everyone I've talked to said that thing is a tank, and I think
Which
it's
one?
the Associated MT10.
Oh yeah, I had one.
Everyone
It's like
says
rubber.
Yeah, everyone says it's like bulletproof, and I think it's probably like my Granite. Like my Granite was indestructible. I never replaced. I replaced the shocks with crappy shocks because those blew out, but it was indestructible. I mean, it's just I never drive it, but I should. Like, but yeah.
So I broke something on mine, like when I was driving it, but it wasn't even its own fault. I had that like metal aluminum RC basher ramp, and this guy used these bolts that stuck up, like hex head ones instead of
So you
like
got caught
rounded.
on it, yeah.
So as it compressed and hit, it just ripped the rear.
Sheared it, yeah.
Yeah, just sheared it right out. And you look, there was gouges. So I ended up just replacing all the bolts it came with round heads and took care of that problem. But yeah, it wasn't a problem at all. It was like crazy, but yeah. So I'm trying to sell the X-Max too. I just need the cash right now.
Yeah.
And it'll help if I sell that too. It'll make me say, you know what? I'll keep the Moto. I really want it. Like everything I see on it, it's the coolest RC. It'll probably get me back into RC like I was 5 years ago. Like where all I want to do is pick up and run one.
Right.
Which for me, honestly, like that's only these little ones right now. If I'm going to pick up and run something, it's going to be this,
right,
or something on like the little indoor course, or even on my outside one. The Basher Park's kind of growing weeds, and I'm about to order more dirt and try to make it a better area, but
it's hard when it's not level. It's like it's hard when you have that kind of little.
And the grass is so thick here, man, and we can't cut it lower for some reason. It all just dies. We have such long spells of no rain here.
We've had a gorgeous summer here.
Yeah, it's been awesome here too, but it is dry, very dry here. Everything's brown.
We just had a couple days of rain, light rain. I guess it rained hard here is what I heard last night. But it's been all right. And so, but yeah, for the most part, it's been so nice here. Super nice. Speaking of driving style, you got through that podcast, huh?
Yes. Oh yeah. Pablo has a new podcast.
I'm adding some stuff to it. So I decided to not focus so much on dad talk. I'm going to focus on man talk. Like, because I realize not everyone's in the same kind of like season of their life to be dads, or maybe they have different times in their, and so it's more about like man stuff. But like, it's tough because it's like, I want to do RC stuff, but then at the same time, I just want to just talk about things. And so I
need to.
Yeah. And I did a poll about things to talk about. And one of the people said conspiracies. And I was like, I got you. Because I'm the biggest nerd when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like I don't believe any of the stuff most of the time, but I really like listening to it. It's just entertainment. To me, it's like,
what was the Ghost, the AM radio one?
Coast to Coast.
Coast to Coast.
All day, baby.
Man, I love that stuff. Yeah. The people calling in are fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know, if we were running this and we were just letting anybody call in and talk about RC, can you imagine, right? And they get those people on, and you're just like, they're looking for an out. Like they want to, like, okay, this is out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they just let them feed the beast, baby. Yep. And they got 3 hours to kill.
Yep.
Let them talk.
So what I figured I was going to do is I found a couple of list of conspiracies, and I'm probably just going to like read through one every week and then just give it my 2 cents. like not like research it. I don't care about
Yep.
It's more about the entertainment value of it
Yep.
and talk about it. Because I think they're fun. I think they're fun to
Yeah.
talk about. And like some of them I'm gonna be like, really? Like
Yeah. So I listen. So you've been using this whole thing through Spotify,
yeah, podcaster.
right? Podcaster.
Yeah.
I don't have that techie whatever of you. Like, I watch you do stuff and I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. Like, you come up with these quick little, like, you got the little moving mouth thing on your like little story thing for it and all that, and I'm like, I don't even care anymore. I'm like, it's posted, and if people find it, they find it. Like, if they're subscribed, like, I've gotten to the point on some of the stuff where it's just now I'll admit I haven't been able to do my podcast because I haven't gone up to the studio because of my knee.
Yeah.
Since this whole month. I haven't been up there this whole month. I could do it here. The problem is if I'm doing it here, I have so much traffic that walks right through here and they come down talking, not knowing that I'm doing something.
Yeah. Just go for a drive. Just go for a drive. Look,
see, I want
audio
comes this audio. Like, I want to be like this.
I know. This is
coast
what my
to coast.
This is what my audio comes from.
I know.
And it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Like, it's the volume, the levels are all over the place and I can't adjust it.
Yeah.
And I thought about, go ahead.
Yeah. I want to be able to just say just whatever and just take it.
Yeah.
I would probably try and do it with my AirPods because they're pretty decent too.
I got a new set and they're terrible.
Really? You think that the neck mic is better?
100%.
Okay.
But you've got to kind of hold it a little bit.
Well, my jack doesn't work very well on the bottom of my phone. It cuts in and out. So even when I'm trying to like capture footage off it now, I got to sit there and flip the plugins, and like my CarPlay on my phone cuts in and out all the time because of the ports all jacked up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I thought about doing it on the computer. The problem is I cannot be, like, to your point, I cannot be stationary enough.
Yeah.
Where I'm not getting traffic.
Right.
And for me, it's a lot easier to pop it in and to go for a drive.
Yeah.
Like in between errands.
Yeah. I need to figure out a different mic setup then if I'm going to do it that way. But I get you.
It's
so
much more natural
in a way, except that now I've got it all mounted here. But this is like USB driven one here. I'm running it off XLR, but it does USB too. If you don't want to turn it all on. Mike Eaton, what happened to your knee? Okay. So long story short, I don't know exactly what happened to my knee.
He got old.
I got old. It's one of the things. I got fat and old, and I jumped. So first thing that happened was we were on our boat on the 4th of July, and there's a spot we like where we dock, and it's like sandy, a sandbar. And so I jumped off the back of the boat, whatever, fine, with my fishing pole, whatever, went out and fished for a little bit, caught several things. We'd go back up, weigh the fish, get sizes on them and all that. And then I jumped off the front of the boat, which was way shallower, and I wasn't ready to hit the ground. And I stuffed my foot into the ground and tweaked my knee. So the next day I went and helped my mom. She's selling her house. And I'm like, gosh, my knee hurts. Like, getting in and out of my truck stinks, whatever, like kind of pulling it up with my arm to help get it in the truck. But then about like 2 days later, I'm like, oh, I'm good. Like, I wasn't even thinking about it. So that weekend, 4 days later, we're out having a bonfire. I'm fishing off the shoreline at my house. The neighbor's coming over to tell me about some weird thing they caught, which just turned out to be green fishing line. But it was all like this trippy thing for him and them. And it's because they're tripping out.
Like chupacabra.
Anyway, it's like, yeah. So it just kept coming, all this green filament, like whatever. And but I see him coming, so I'm trying to rush, and I need to get to our boat. And so we have 2 docks, right? So we have one that's like the dock that's got a nice little walkway down to it, and then it's a floating dock that comes across off it here, because the river needs to rise, and and then this one kind of pivots. So that's our gangway, out to it. It's aluminum. This all plastic, rises and lowers. Well, we have this old wood one that we put in because when we bought the dock, they didn't have our gangway yet, and so we needed a way to get out there. Well, whatever, it worked great. So we have this little thing so you could stand out from the shoreline. So I went from that one and I jumped, and because the water was so low, the dock's way down below. So I'm, jumping from the one to the other, and I just landed. And I was like, "Ooh, that wasn't good," but it didn't kill me. But I was trying to sleep that night, and then I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like I couldn't sleep. My knees just throbbed all night long. I'm like, "Yeah, I did something," and it did that for like a straight week where I couldn't sleep. Like every time I'd lay down to go to sleep, it just hurt. And I'd ice it. I'd take a bunch of medicine. But anyway, after about a week, I was like, and I was still just getting up and hobbling. Like, I couldn't get out of bed till I'd put an ice pack on it for about 20 minutes or so. And then I'd get out and kind of whatever. But I wouldn't do any stairs. I just sat with my leg sitting, straight out. And I'm finally at the point where I'm walking kind of normal. I still can't do stairs, can't put any weight on it. I get this kind of weird burning in my hamstrings and part of my knee. I had to have tore something. Like I've messed my knee up before a lot, racing bikes and aggressive inline skating or whatever they called it back in the day, and then hockey and basketball. But man, it was after Nashville. It was like straight after getting back, we went out boating.
Brutal.
Just being old and fat and jumping.
Brutal.
So yeah.
Oh, I just had an idea.
For your alcohol will do that. Earl.
For your mic woes, you've got an iPad.
I do have an iPad.
Just capture it through your iPad.
With one of these mics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or with whatever.
GarageBand or whatever.
Yeah. Or
I don't even need to though, because I've got this thing.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Your soundboard thing,
little portable one that I'm using here,
yeah.
Battery powered. I can just take that and this anywhere.
Yeah, that's still kind of a big setup, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I've got this, and I've got a little 3-foot cable to that. I can take it anywhere, just not in a car. That'd be weird. What's weird is that I didn't fix my monitor after I tried to show that.
Yeah, see, I like the simplicity of mine. To me, what it equates to is like shooting in 720 versus or 4K or whatever. It's like it still gets the point across. The audio could be better. I could record it on this all day.
Yeah,
and it would sound fantastic. But I can't do that very often. And I'm not going to come downstairs here after the kids go to bed and talk to myself at any kind of normal level.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I can't do that.
It's weird.
I feel like they're judging
especially
me
for like an hour.
Well, and then so that's the other thing that I like about that podcaster thing. It keeps it categorized for you, so I can do a quick 15-minute session as a bit.
Call it a sesh, right? It's
a
2023.
It's a sesh. Yeah.
There you go, Mike Eaton. You can add that to my aggressive inline skating line.
Yeah. But what I could cut that really quick, go away for a day, hit it again, cut that really quick, and it already saves my commercials, so I can just drop them in.
Yep.
So
I need to do some kind of commercials I can just add to my buttons here, but I don't even everything's just straight live, and I just hit.
Yeah.
And then just go from whatever
my intro is so lame. I was gonna get someone to do it, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it.
Fiverr it, dude.
I know. Well, I was gonna do that, but then it was like
$25.
I just didn't have time at the time.
Plus tip.
Yeah. No, I was gonna do it. I need to, because it sounds really lame me introducing myself as myself.
Yeah. So I laugh now because it says this guy is the king or whatever.
Yeah, and now it's the king of RC. Yeah.
Right. But that was way before any of that ever happened. And that wasn't in my script. Like I had a script that I sent the guy,
Yeah.
which was everything else, and then he added like that Porky Pig little guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't love that, but I love everything else about it. And I
Yeah.
paid so little for it, so I'm just gonna take it.
See,
But
what
now
I'm
I chuckle, I'm like the king, like that's perfect for like the King of RC stuff.
what I'm scared about doing is that I don't write that stuff very well. I can write other stuff, but stuff like that I don't write very.
If
And
somebody else
it's
starts it,
short though.
like this, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like the whole originating things, like for me is my like I bottleneck stuff, like because like it's so much work and it's
Yeah.
But if I have like so even with editing, I was a much better director. Like so I do like direct our international media. Like for me to get a project and do it was like I would do a good job, but it would be like really long.
Yeah.
But if that guy could just hammer it out wrong for like, and he just like, well, hey, check this out. Like,
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
was very good at being like, hey, if you just like move this around here,
Yeah.
and like that's what we wanted, like from the get-go, like it was way faster for me to edit that way.
Sure.
To have them just kind of get into it, and then
Right.
like, all right, I like all this, but let's
and maybe I'll do that.
But yeah,
maybe I'll write it and send it your way because it's like to me, it's like I just did it so I could start making reps. You know what I mean? I just laid it down so I could start making reps. So now that I've got it going, maybe I'll do that and get a better one going.
Yeah. And I always say I'm not a good writer, but like when I turn stuff in for school or whatever, they always said it was great. Like I always did really well with it. I just hated it. So I think that's why I thought I didn't do good at it is that it's not so when an editing project comes to me, I want it to be done. Like, so when I go to an event, if I don't have like me on camera saying what's happening and going through it, like so Horizon RC Fest where the audio sucks, for me now to go back and like write up Horizon RC Fest kicked off with a bang, blah blah blah,
yeah,
monster trucks, RC buggy racing, this airplanes flying through the sky, like that to me is like this, like I will come up with every reason not to do it or get started on it.
Yeah.
That I can.
Yeah.
I want it all ready. Like I want to do it there's a couple reasons. One, people are more forgiving of you being on camera and having a gaffe or a mistake than if you're doing it as a voiceover where you stopped and you read it. One, if it sounds like you're reading, it sounds dumb.
Yeah.
Two, there's a whole lot of things that audio sounds, everything is not as forgiving when you do it post.
Yep.
If you have a slip up, whatever, there's no that's okay live.
Yeah.
Not okay if you're doing a voiceover.
Right. It sounds like you're trying to act. Yeah.
It sounds. I always prefer to have it done in person in front of the camera, even if I'm going to bury the whole thing underneath video footage.
Yep.
So yeah, Max Paul. Yes, they're stock width. They're stock. Even the way the screw ins are. So a lot of the aluminum axles and all that cheated the rear axles in order to have the screw parts on the up for your bearings because it saved them metal. I flipped them back to stock in case people were building stuff for the stock axles to fit, like portals. That was a big thing when I saw the Mofo portals.
Yeah,
I went and I designed the stock axles in brass. So yeah, it's stock. However, if you use the whatever, it kind of we have it so it tows the front ends in a little bit for steering and things. But
I was going to ask you about that. when I started looking at mine and measuring it for the body that I was about to print, I realized I lost 2 screws on the underside of the C-hubs, and so those bushings are gone. And I was like, "Do you have extra bushings?" I don't know. I don't know how to do.
But I need to just make a part one out anyway, so I can get you some.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure.
I need to just order bushings. I need to order like 1,000 of them, just because people would buy them. We lose them all the time.
Yeah. I didn't even know. I didn't know they were gone, and I started measuring my wheelbase and all that. And I was like, "Wait a minute," and I was like, "Oh crap!"
I lose them all the time. So I will try to order 1,000 bushings to just have on hand for people and just
I
sell
only
them in
need 2.
4-packs. I know you need to, but people will want them. I'm sure it'll be super cheap.
Yeah,
I can sell them super cheap for people. So
that's cool.
I mean, like these, like I was working on a project. I carry each of the length of screws for myself in several thousands of screws
Yeah,
to work from. But yeah,
that's awesome.
so yeah, that was your podcast. It was good, man. I enjoyed it.
Thanks.
I think the rabbit trail stuff will be good.
Yeah. I hope so.
Probably do fishing on mine because, I mean, that's when I have free time. Like you could go grab an RC or you could grab a fishing pole.
Yeah. You're like, I'm grabbing a fishing pole.
Unless there's people involved, right?
Yeah.
Like if I know other people are going to RC, I'm all about it. But if it's
Yeah.
just me going out to RC by myself, I used to like thrive on that.
Yeah.
And I don't as much anymore. So
it's weird. So, okay. So I was just thinking about this as an epiphany for kind of where social media and RC is right now. And I think
it's a weird place is where it is.
It is a weird place. And I think what's happening.
I don't get it, man.
So this is why I'm
so like.
Yeah. And this is why I'm diversifying a little bit, like going to the podcast and going more towards YouTube, is because I don't really care about the monetization as much. But if I have avenues that I could work with different companies or vendors sometimes, or if I have avenues where I can do trade work for people or whatever, that I think is more of like me kind of like creating my own market or whatnot. And I think that people now, and the 2 years leading up to the pandemic or whatever, I think people were doing it for not vanity, but like, look at what I'm doing, kind of a thing. I don't think people care anymore. And I think what's going to happen is I think the media market is going to contract. And I think it's going to go back to being a handful to 10 influencers making the majority of the content consumed.
I've noticed low seeing them too. Like so with the motorcycle, the Pro Moto, it went to RC Sailors and went to RC Driver.
Yeah.
I think probably because they sell a lot through affiliate for one.
Sure.
2, they have really big audiences, right?
Yeah.
Mark Santa Maria got the Heat Wave with his, again, pretty big audiences.
Sure.
Did not get the Pro Moto. Had a video about not getting the Pro Moto, which was kind of cringe a little bit.
Yeah.
And I like him a lot, but it was kind of, it was awkward. But I think he was trying to address people asking him why he didn't get one.
Yeah. It's hard because
I'm sure they get a lot of, like, I know I get it too. Like, dude, I wish you'd have gotten this. I'd love to hear your take on it.
Hard because we have no way of judging the consistency of what is going to be. People don't realize it's given to us. And it's like, we are grateful for that, but we have no consistency and it's not really our place to ask for it all the time.
I never ask for it.
Right.
Ever.
Right. And it's one of those things where I think that's hard for people to understand. And I think the marketing of these companies has been odd. Like, has been good, some of it, but some of it's been odd.
So, I mean, yeah, I agree. Totally. I think that there's been releases where way too many people get it.
Yeah.
And so then everybody's like, the same thing I'm saying, like as an influencer, when it finally comes out and I can buy it.
Yeah.
Like it's already, even not an influencer, if I'm just, I like you, like it's already well established in the market, unboxing, whatever. Like, why would I ever buy it? Like,
right.
If that's one of my purposes of buying this to do YouTube, if they've sent it to 20 people,
right,
like I'm not going to buy it. Like it's already fully out there. Like,
sure.
Unless I really want it. In which case I'll totally buy it. Like that's not my reason. But the reason I never got the Creighton 6S for so long was it had been out at that point for so long.
Mm-hmm.
They do a little version upgrade or whatever. I would go for the new car, like, a new, whatever. And I'd just go for whatever the new flash in the pan was.
Yeah.
Because it would get views.
Yep.
And I was interested, but it would get views. Anything
Yeah.
new, most people aren't like, you have an interest at some point in it. But I think that, one, they were over sending stuff.
I agree.
But then there was companies that don't have any influence in the market, like that. Just like, why aren't they like it? So I get why companies do send stuff. I send stuff of my products out to people that I wanted to put it out there, right?
Yep.
So Cape Crawlers, one of them, right?
Yep. I made videos for you.
Yep. I sent stuff to you.
Yep.
Matt from Scale Builders Guild, when he ordered, partly too, he's in Canada, so I was like, I'm gonna send a bunch. Like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna make that shipping cost worth it, right? So I sent a ton of stuff.
Yep.
Mark Santa Maria ordered something, and I sent him a bunch of stuff, with it, along with whatever he ordered.
Yeah.
Just like, hey man, saw your message come through. Here's some stuff, because I know that if he uses it, people that are watching will be like, oh, whoa, cool. I didn't know about that, right?
Yeah.
So same with people that send me stuff, like, whoa, I know that we see it because people click the links, the affiliate links. You see, and I do everything as a bit.ly, so I see how many people even click on it, even if they don't buy something.
Right.
There's interest, like you generate interest. But again, it felt like it was like everybody was getting it, to the point where it's like
watered down.
Who didn't get it? Like you're almost counting like, who didn't get it this time? Like, well, it's weird, right?
And the thing that was, it didn't bother me, but it was like everyone was getting it, and then they would make 1, maybe 2 videos on it, and then you never saw it again. Yeah, and then you never see it again. And I'm like, get it to the people that are going to make multiple videos and make, I liked how, was it, why can't I remember his name? The guy in the UK.
Kevin Talbot?
No, the other guy.
I know who you're talking about. The Team Associated stuff.
Yeah, so they got they sent him like one of the Hoonigans.
Blanking on this.
I know, right? They sent him parts to hop it up, and then he, it's like stuff like that where it's like getting these things hopped, showing how you can add a brushless and add this to it and add that to it. Tom Lee, there you go.
Tom Lee RC.
Yep.
Love his stuff, by the way.
Yeah, his is awesome.
His sarcasm, everything. There's just like,
I know, it's really good. Yeah,
really good. Flapping lips, nailed it. Yep.
So, but I really like the, showing kind of how you would progress that car. I've been held back a couple times on some releases where they're like, don't change anything for X amount of time, then go crazy with it. And I get that because they want to get the brand recognition out there.
Yeah.
And they know that I'm a guy that's going to be like making little mods here and there. And I've been told
little mods. Are you serious? Little mods?
There's little, little aesthetic.
You have a little bit left of what it initially was by the time you're done, but okay. Yeah.
Well, and that was what someone, was it,
I don't even recognize it anymore.
Yeah, that's the company that did the Jeep stuff out of Arizona. I forgot what their name was now too. But they straight up told me, they're like, by the time you get done with it, we can't even tell what kind of car it is. And I was like, fair enough. Like, I was like, I get it. And so now
they're the ones that aren't around anymore.
Right. But
Jeff Johns was there, right?
Huh?
Jeff Johns?
I don't know who was over there. But to me, Rebel RC. Yeah. So that made sense to me. After I was told that way, I was like, I get that. That's fair because my trucks are like very modified. And so, right.
AX24.
Yeah. Have no idea what that is. Yeah, exactly.
Angry AX24.
But, so now I'm trying to keep things a little bit more stockish. And then if it comes to me, and then I'm getting another one to do my build with. What's that? All the FearTech goodies? Is that what you're showing me?
2023, nope.
Oh, I see. They're like, that's not scale.
Cross-drilled brake lines front prohibited.
What?
No, they ran out of Axial Fest Badlands. They ran out of approved stickers,
Uh-huh.
and
So they
so
started
actually
doing
the negative stickers, the nope stickers, got you on the trails. So if you'd have been a nope early on, you could get on the trails later because
yeah.
you had the triangle on your car. You were good to go.
How funny.
Yeah, dude. The lines. Did I ever tell you about the lines when I got there?
No.
So we got there early, like day before Wednesday. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna check in. So I got a tub. I've got a tub of like 15 SCX 24s. I'm gonna register. One, because I want the freaking cool stickers on them, right? So I get there, and there's like, oh sweet, there's like 5 people in line, and
They're like,
I'm walking up
the
there,
line starts
and
over
Big
there.
Squid's like, you gotta go way down there, buddy. And I'm like, what, Jeremy? He's like, haha, funny dude, yeah, blah blah blah. I'm like joking at him, but I just go to talk to him, and then so I, because I'm like short line, whatever. It's not gonna grow huge, so I go over and chat with him. No, he's dead serious. Like all the cars that I saw were in line, but they were staying in their cars for air conditioning because it was so hot.
Oh, wow.
They were just driving up to the line. It was like super long.
It's like Chick-fil-A check-in.
And then they closed. Like they couldn't get in. I'm like, all right, well, just walk it all back. So we ran the 24 scale comp. We hadn't even done registration because we were down there setting up before registration began. So technically, we drove these things illegally on the Badlands course.
Ooh,
And then on our way out, we got them checked. But by that time, Thursday morning, they were out of stick. Like the start day, they were out of stickers for the. It was crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing I wanted to.
Netherlands.
Netherlands made me think of Hemi-Storm's videos coming out again.
Yes,
very
so
good, dude.
Again.
Yeah, super rad. So I was like, oh man, I like these. He
just commented on one of my videos, even.
Whoa.
So yeah, and then he did the.
He's like, hey Tony,
the heat wave.
He's like, hey Tony, start over, rookie.
Yeah, you suck. Axial Fest, what? Axial Fest, not. Like,
yeah.
So the Axial Fest video was actually really fun to put together.
Good. I watched it. I think
it was pretty long.
It was pretty long, but I think I had it on in the background. And oh yeah, I remember now because I remember seeing the clip where you posted it as a story of your son running into the gate.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I was
going to start the whole video with that, but I saved it until we actually finally got to the trail. Because man, what a headache trying to get there. Like we got down there. And so I sold my SCX 10-3 Jeep.
But
the guy didn't have a radio and they were all sold out of the ruggeds I told him to get. And so I was like, well, I'll let you borrow mine. Like one of the kids' radios.
Yeah.
And he could take it out. So he borrowed it the whole weekend. Drove the truck. Loved it. But we got out there. And so one of them had their truck running. And the other one, we grabbed the radios. And I thought that the D, because we used to call Anthony Dino. That's his middle name. That's what I wanted his first name to be. I still call him Dino. That's his name to me.
Yeah.
I still, now every once in a while I flip. So in the video, I mentioned that Dino was having all these issues. And later in that same sentence, I said, or paragraph of words, I said, so Anthony, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So for most people viewing, they probably totally missed.
Didn't get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he was just having nothing but issues. We got all the way. We waited all this time, got on the shuttle, drove all the way down, got dropped off, and his radio didn't bind to his car. And I get it. I told him that was his radio because it was like D, whatever.
Yeah.
But he should have had A for Anthony, apparently, at that point. And I was like, oh, my gosh. So, and we couldn't get it to bind for whatever reason. I tried, and we had to wait like 45 minutes for the shuttle to come back. It took forever that time. So I probably had to use the bathroom. Like I get it. Like they had these. So they come back, and then we're not going to wait for the shuttle again. Like we're just going to do the walking trail all the way into the.
Yeah.
And so we're doing that, and 10 minutes in, he blew up his other truck that he was driving. Like just smoked the motor. So then we had to do a different truck for him. Same Wraith, but his brothers at this point.
Yeah.
And yeah, we finally went into we waited that time for the shuttle. We went right into the trail and we just only did the rocks because, like, in my opinion, the trails on the outside are kind of easier. They're just kind of trails. There's a lot of flat spots.
Sure.
But if you get to the quarry, it's like rock and like sandy and tough. So that's what we're trying to get to. But yeah.
I need to get on the trail so bad, dude. I'm jonesing so bad.
Yeah.
So bad to get on the trail. And I haven't. I put
tomorrow.
I know. Well, like I said, I think I'm going to do Thursday morning. But because I got to get some other stuff done first. Because they're going to be gone tomorrow night too. So I have tonight and tomorrow night. And I'm like, ooh. And I got to try to find somewhere for dinner tonight.
Tonight still?
Well, yeah, I'm hungry.
8 o'clock.
8:30. I know.
You're way past dinner.
Well, you know, I need to eat. Can't go to bed hungry.
Did your family eat?
I don't know. They're not here. I'm sure they did.
Oh, they're gone still?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I say
I didn't know you were gone tonight by yourself. I thought it was starting tomorrow.
No, it's tonight and tomorrow night. So I came home and they're at one of those kid water park venues, indoor things.
Yeah, like Great Wolf Lodge thing.
Yeah. And so I'm home. And so I literally walked in the door and came into this. Like hammered down all the way here.
So you're hungry.
Yes.
Wow.
Actually, I did get a text while we were in here and from my daughter saying we're eating now. Yep.
So, yeah, it's 11:39 here, Max Paul.
Yeah.
Just drink more pork chops, Pablo.
I know. So I'm like, we have a place called the Buzz Inn out here. That's kind of like a Denny's or an IHOP. And I'm thinking about calling in for a takeout order and they're going to be like, takeout 9 o'clock. Like, yes, but I'm going to probably go and that's the other thing. I'm not eating fast food. So like going out on this trip, people were getting fast food. So it was my family. So the four of us, my in-laws, my mother and father-in-law, my sister-in-law and her two kids. And they're like, oh, let's stop by McDonald's. And I'm like staring off in the background, like, I'll wait. And I'm not doing pop either. So I'm not doing pop or fast food trying to vacation.
Do you guys call it pop? And
we call it pop or soda. Whatever I feel like calling it, Tony.
Well, there's a big difference.
Oh.
Like we did not call it pop in Virginia ever.
I think most people call it pop here.
Really?
I think it goes both ways, but I think most people call it pop.
Like when we came to Michigan and we taught our kids to say pop,
they're like Coke,
and they saw it like up on the walls, like hanging like signs at Walmart, like, oh, it says pop up there. Yeah,
yeah,
it sure does, because that's what it is.
Because it's pop. wicked good pop.
Pop and Superman ice cream.
Superman, I don't know what that is.
You should.
Is that Neapolitan or something? Is that some weird?
It's blue, yellow, and red ice cream. Nobody knows quite what the flavors are, but it's fantastic.
That's funny. Oh, that's right. In Texas, everything's a Coke.
Yep. So yeah, that's how it is down for my brother. I have a Coke. What kind? I'll kill you.
So, okay, Mellow Yellow. Is that original Mountain Dew, even though it was a Coke product?
I have no idea.
What?
They call it Mellow Yellow.
You never had Mellow Yellow?
I have, but I don't know if it was the original Mountain Dew.
Sure tastes like Mountain Dew a little bit.
But who came up with it first?
I would think Mellow Yellow was before Mountain Dew. All right.
Does not have the staying power that Mountain Dew has.
Originals ideas. Mountain Dew came out first. What? Okay. Let's see what the Googleator says.
He has the little great. He's got the greater than less than sign, though.
Mountain Dew or Mellow Yellow. Which came first, Mountain Dew or Melon Yellow? Mountain Dew was created in the 40s and first marketed in 1948, while Mellow Yellow was introduced in 79. The more you know, Tony.
There you go.
The more you know.
These little flapping lips was way wrong, though. Dew was around early 70s of the 40s.
Yep.
47s.
Yep.
I had no idea, though. So I can't, like, say he was way off because I had no clue.
No clue.
I just know it was before Kick.
Before Kick. Or Surge.
Surge.
Surge, yeah.
Jinx.
Yep. Stop.
Yeah. The chicken or the egg, right around forehead.
Yeah.
So, well, we should wrap here. It's 11:42 here, and you got to be famished.
I am, and I'm 2
You gotta
beers
look for
in.
a horse to eat.
I know. I think I'm gonna go with the club
Taco
sandwich.
Bell for horses.
I can't do fast food.
Oh yes.
So I think I'm gonna go with the club sandwich, not toasted. Maybe
Sounds
a side of
Applebee's-ish.
maybe a side of fried mushrooms. I had chicken gizzards this weekend. That was good.
Sounds gross.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, chicken gizzards are awesome, dude.
Except the name's gross.
It's delicious.
Mm.
And I'm gonna shoot you in the baby maker before you.
I was just about not fast enough.
Nope.
Hit the Leaf Studio button almost.
The streets will run red.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. As always, Pablo's crazy,
Well, you know.
but a club sandwich is the best.